Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Derek here. We are back reacting to another episode of The Expanse. This is Season 5, Episode 6. It is called Tribes. What happened last time on The Expanse? So we had some important things happen, like Amos and Peaches escaping from prison, and Amos like suplexing some dude down that elevator shaft. That was crazy. Holden almost blew up on the Rossi, except Naomi saved him. Alex and Bobby discovered that Mars is selling not only weapons to the Free Navy, but like whole, like massive warships. Like they're building his fleet for him pretty much. What else happened? Oh, Drummer got invited by Marco to like a meeting to determine the future of like the belt and what's going to happen with all them and everything that's going to go down. And lots of big stuff is going to happen. So I'm excited. Thank you for being here. Before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video and please consider subscribing. It means so much, especially if you want to see more of my reactions, so hit subscribe. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, or if you just want to support me outside of YouTube, head down to the Patreon linked in the description, or not, you know, up to you. But I think that's all I got to say. Let's jump into this episode, shall we? She is still like just in absolute shock, especially since her husband has not called her back yet.
I'm David Pastor.
Ooh.
You're Minister of the Interior?
Transportation.
I remember him. Right?
I'm the new in the air. I saw half of Midtown underwater.
I've seen things.
That's crazy. He saw it in person, though.
Ready for you in the seat room, sir.
Bro, just put her in charge. Quit wasting time. Just put her in charge.
Degree. We were only able to beat back the attack because of you. I'd like you to join my provisional cabinet. Please.
That's a smart decision. Although she's about to take your job. Oh, she's got to put on her mask. God, that sucks. Pull yourself together, Christian. You got this. You are a fierce warrior. Ooh. She can't go through that. They'll figure out who she is.
You feeling better?
No,
Might be something at the aid station.
there's police there.
Yeah, she can't go in there.
Oh, there's no prison to go back to. They'll probably just shoot you.
I don't want that either.
In that case.
I like the capes they made out of the flag. Kind of reminds me of Destiny, the game. Like to some of the designs they have.
Where should I stow this?
Hey,
No fucking way.
what's up, girl?
Military operation.
Oh, if you want me off this ship, you're gonna have to drag me.
You got it.
Look, I've already been kidnapped.
Bull's like,
once.
I'll do it.
For all we know, there could be more in our...
You know, when we find these pricks, the ride's gonna get a little rough. You ever been in high G maneuvers before?
On this ship, when we were the first people to go through the ring and survive.
Oh, shiz. That's what's up, Bull. She's like, let me show you my resume. You sure you can keep up with me? One unread saved message. Is it gonna be from Marco? If something goes wrong. Oh, she probably sent this beforehand, right? Makes sense. And they drift in. Ooh, I like that. That's a cool little design on the side. Shows the journey from the Wright brothers to the Razorback. Yo, Bobby's gonna kill these people. Dude just immediately gets melted.
Alex, now!
Yeah, take their ship. Their ship has guns.
Alex is trying to push off pirate.
This is like, she's like Captain America, holding back the helicopter. Okay, well, hurry up, Alex. Her robot suit's gonna break.
Alex, I couldn't hold the way back! Alex! You gotta get back! Now!
Oh, shiz. Yo, Alex. You mad lad. The Rosi is so good at just yeeting themselves off of other ships. They just love diving through space, don't they? Better blow that thing up before they shoot you with their guns.
Emergency startup. Go!
Oh, she just tanks it. She's like, this is fine. And he immediately hits the ground. Oh my god.
We did it! Suck on that, motherfuckers!
Woo! Let's go! Get clapped.
So instead of a grand symbol of inner-belter unity destroyed along with half of Tycho, the Rocinante is underway in pursuit of the Zemea.
Sorry, it's my fault.
Spade her.
What? You heard me?
I tell you to!
Doing yourself!
Oh, shiz. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Spare her life.
Damn right. Philip.
Please. I have more important things to do.
I'm sure you do, pal. Almost got your ass beat by this old man.
Would have been the last thing I ever did.
Would have been worth it.
Would have been worth it.
Yeah.
He took the belt back from the
He
inner.
was you, a murderer. You ended millions of ordinary lives. You haven't felt the price of it yet, but someday you will. And you will realize what he's done to you.
He made me a fighter.
Nah,
He
man.
loves
He
me.
loves himself.
But you don't know anything about him.
I know he wouldn't die for you, but he would let you die for him.
Straight up. Straight up. She's telling it like it is. She's sowing the seeds of doubt in Philip's brain. And I want him to turn back at least towards the good side. You know, maybe not completely to a good guy, but he doesn't have to be completely bad. Yeah, take his bag, man.
Schrodinger's parent.
Yeah, he may or may not be alive. And that's
Her
not to be
parent
determined
interviewed
until
from-
she sees him.
Exists in a quarantine state?
Both dead and alive until you check up on them.
I did have someone who tried to take care of me. She died not too long ago.
Lydia.
There are ways that you can live a good life without being a good person.
I like that.
Should have just put her shoes inside those big boots. They looked fairly large.
Look,
That's a fire. You gonna have to kill some people. This guy looks like a cannibal.
I do have a little something we could drink.
Yo, this is straight up a trap.
Edge off the cold.
No, thank you. We should get going.
I recommend.
I feel like he had more people working with him.
Drink. Maybe a few more hours by that fire. I feel like I haven't been warm in years.
The thing about civilization is it keeps you civil. Get
Once
rid of
it's
one,
gone.
you can't count on the other.
Yeah.
It's like you've done this before.
I grew up like this. Everyone else is playing catch up.
People are
He's in his element.
more settled things.
Multiple contacts, separate headings.
They're jamming our comms.
One MCRN light cruiser.
They're here for the party, pal.
Been ambushed.
More incoming.
No, this is the meeting.
No, three.
The Free Navy welcomes us. We are being asked to dock.
MCR and warships. How could Mako have this?
From Mars, man.
Good question.
Get with the program.
So much for shooting our way out.
Yeah, you literally cannot shoot your way out. You have to pretty much accept whatever he wants.
And associates. Thank you for coming.
And associates.
Your throne?
This is a war room.
For war you started.
For a war I won.
Is it over? I must have missed the inner's offer of surrender.
Sassy drummer.
You know the song he sang when you spacing? It wasn't fear. He used to sing it to his daughter. And to keep his mind steady in trying times.
Ooh, she probably shouldn't have dished that info to him.
There will be thin years at first. But within a decade, the belt will have the agricultural production levels of Earth. And surpass it.
Maybe. Probably should have collected some soil first before you bombed the planet.
No limit. We were already at war. You just couldn't see it because they were killing us slow.
Kinda, but... Philip. She recognizes him.
I'm not disrespecting your property, sir. Just want to talk trade. Don't shoot me.
You got nothing to give him.
Throw down your weapons.
I don't have any weapons. That's why I'm here.
Strip then.
What?
You say you don't have any weapons? Stand where you are and strip down.
Okay. Dude, he is built.
Now, unless you think I got a pistol up my ass, we both can agree I'm unarmed. Recycle's worth more than an extra rifle.
Oh. Oh, she's just gonna murk this man. Oh. Her thing only lasts like 10 seconds, which is insane.
We have to join. There's no choice. Marco says it's a choice. And we are all acting like that's true.
It's not a choice.
But it's not. And the only choice left for us is to join him. Or die.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, you can't just say no.
This is Kamina Drama. A patriot.
And a good friend of your mom's.
Good friend of your mother.
Hey, I predicted it.
Before Naomi left her to join her inners,
And by doing so, saved every soul in the system.
I'd like to hear that story. Another time.
He's like, I want to hear about how my mom saved everybody.
Is there anything you'd like me to tell your mother?
There's no need. I can tell. No.
She's here.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Philip just let that slip, boy. You weren't supposed to talk that much. Your dad's gonna beat you now.
How did you open all the gates?
It wasn't me alone. It took every one of us working together. We all played a part.
He's spying. What are you doing? Is he gonna shoot a missile back at them? No. What was he trying to look at?
Did we win?
You did. Indeed, you did win. I wonder if if she activates her mods, does that stimulate the healing process in her hand?
I have killed, but I'm not a killer because a killer is a monster.
And monsters are not
and
afraid.
Monsters aren't afraid. I'm afraid all the time of the things that I did, how right it felt when I was doing them, how certain I was.
Fancy cast. That's what's up.
We needed supplies.
If he wasn't a creep, he might have given the supplies.
To murder someone and take his stuff just because we needed it. It's not the kind of thing good people do. Not even bad people trying to live like good ones.
That's why he needs Holden. To show him the right thing to do.
Never would have approved a move like that. I need to get back to my crew.
Yeah, he's like, frick. Oh, dang, end of the episode. He's like, dude, he recognizes his morals slipping. And he's like, ooh, I gotta stop. I like that we got a lot more time with Amos and Clarissa. I don't think this is something they specifically like talked a lot about in the books. You know, there were specific sections in the books that focused on them kind of like making their way, and at one point they get a bike, but they don't really, or they might have talked about this, but I feel like they weren't in the woods. They were just like walking along the road, and they talked about a water recycler. It's been a while. This might have happened in the books. I don't remember Peaches killing some guy, though. Who knows? But I'm glad that they got to spend time together. You can definitely see the bond that they have strengthening and growing. And how I like how the dynamic they have of like, they've both done horrible things. And they're just trying to survive. And on one side, Peaches is just like horrified and afraid of all the things she's done, catching up to her, that they'll continue to impact her life, both like negative consequences style, but then also like how she acts. Like she doesn't want to be that person anymore. And then Amos is like, he's upset because he just, at the end, he just realized, oh frick, like I was completely willing to go kill this dude and didn't even think about the moral consequences of this. Like if I was still with Holden, like he would never have been okay with this. And that's kind of how Amos has been living his life recently, is he bases, you know, what a good person would do off of things like Holden, because he knows Holden's a good person. So like, would Holden go out of his way to kill this guy? No. Now, if this guy was a good dude, he probably would have just given Amos some stuff. Been like, okay, here, you can have this, or let's go to the recycler or whatever. But, you know, it doesn't work that way. And it's interesting seeing Peaches kind of realize that this is how Amos lived pretty much his whole life, like on the run, or not on the run, but like, how do I describe it? Like in a constant state of survival. You know, he was always looking over his shoulder, like protecting himself. And then now that's just like the natural way to go about things. And he's the one that's ahead of the curve. We get some info on Avasarala. She's still trying to figure out if her husband is alive or dead. I don't know how much they talk about it in this season, but I feel like just from watching, it's pretty clear he's dead. Like he's not gonna call her, and she's at a certain point she's going to have to you know, I don't think she's gonna have time to grieve over that, at least not anytime soon. She's just kind of gotta take it and put it aside and put on her mask, which is in this case her jewelry or whatever, the image that is Christian Avasarala, and she's gonna have to buck up and be who she needs to be in this situation. Where this guy comes in, he's like 8th in line or whatever. This, you know, they have this system kind of set up throughout a lot of governments, like the United States government. The line of succession is so like weird and convoluted that and they always have this thing called the designated survivor. So anytime there's, you know, times when, you know, all of Congress and the president or whatever, they're all going to be in one spot, like at the State of the Union, they always pick one person just to like not be there, because if everyone dies, they need someone. And so he's probably like 8th in line, whatever his weird position is, Secretary of Transportation or something like that. They have it set up where like if all those people die, he's the one that's up next. Like, but clearly he's like, okay, former Secretary General, like I need you to at minimum be part of my staff. My guess is they're going to be going through this meeting and she's going to be like the one that knows what to do and is like making decisions. And then they're eventually just going to be like, okay, you're in charge now. Like I'm stepping down. You're the new leader. And she's going to have to put on that stone cold Avasarala face and get going. We catch up with Holden. They're taking the Rossi on the hunt, baby. You know, getting the system ready. They almost blew up. That was bad. Bull's ready to go. And then Monica strolls up and she's like, what's up? I'm coming with. And Bull's like, no. You sure you can handle any of this? And she was like, excuse me, sir? I was on this ship when poop hit the fan on a galactic level. And he's like, well, frick, I guess you got me there. So she is now joining the crew, at least temporarily. And then Holden sees a message from Naomi that I'm guessing she set up early. I don't remember this message from the books. Again, it's been a long time since I've read them. But I'm guessing she set this up before she fully went on the mission of being like, yo, like probably a certain time frame of like, yo, if something goes wrong, if I'm not back in a month, if I'm not back in 2 months, like bad stuff went down. And she's not in the best spot at the moment. Alex and Bobby, that was so sick. Okay, so they got jettisoned across the way. Obviously some belters are gonna come after them. I was as soon as those guys were walking across, I was like, those guys, they're gonna die. There's no chance they live. And as soon as this guy opens the door, Bobby melts his face, just destroys him, kills one other guy. Meanwhile, Alex is like setting up grenades on the thing. And They just annihilated those things. Meanwhile, Bobby, she's holding them together. Like, she's literally Captain America, like holding the helicopter to the helipad. Like, ugh, Bobby, you absolute freaking freak of nature. Just absolute badass. Love it. And they get out and they go into not hyperspeed, but they take off. And Alex immediately smashes to the ground and she just stands there and takes it. Partly because she's in her gravity suit, like her mechanical suit, so she can take that regardless. But I like that it just reinforces how awesome she is. So Bobby and Alex are alive for now. That's good. Who else can we catch up with? Naomi. She is, the aftermath of her warning Holden. This was meant to be this grand thing of like killing everybody all at the same time, including Holden and the Rossi, like the symbol of Earther resilience. Like, he's the most famous Earther there is, pretty much, like in the galaxy. Like, if you took whoever the most, like, if he had Instagram, if Holden had Instagram and cared, he'd have like 8 billion followers on Instagram. Like, he would have the most of all time. People would be like, what is this man up to? I don't understand how any of these people, like the crew of the Rossi, how do they walk around on these stations and not just be like swarmed with people being like, oh my God, you're Holden. Like, he is the face of Earth, essentially. And it was meant to be this big thing. Belters kill the best Earther. Like, we did it. And Naomi stopped that, so they're obviously mad. And he's like, yo, space that hoe. And Sin is like, do it yourself. If you try and make me, I'll fight you right now. And of course, Marco's this little punk little B-word. Like, he's a punk. Like, all his power comes from like his words and the theoretical sway he has over people. Like, the only threat there is, if you try and fight him, is what the rest of his people will do to you, not what he can do to you. He's not, good at anything other than talking. And even Philip's like, no, save her. Like, I don't want her to die, because he's starting to care a lot about her. And he's starting to realize a little bit that his father is not who he thinks he is. He's trying to talk him up a little bit, being like, he's a visionary. And Naomi's like, one thing I know for a fact about him is he will not die for you. His son, he will not die for you, but he will let you die for him. I think that hit Philip probably hard, even though he didn't show it, because he's probably seen quite a bit the lengths that his father is willing to let other people go for them. Like, specifically Philip's, the guy he knew for 11 years, the Andrew guy, like, that guy died, and he talked to him after, like, he needed to die for the cause. And it's like, ugh, dude. Like, Philip is just, it's the info is just being thrown in his face. Like, dude, you need to get out of here. He has made you a murderer. Like, you don't see what he has done to you yet. Like, the trauma that you have experienced, like, you have not processed this yet. Down the road, you're going to see what he has done to you and made you into, and you are going to hate him. Like, Naomi has had all the time in the world to process what he made her do. And it's part of the reason why she left in the first place. And that connects with Drummer, because Drummer knows them well. She and her crew come to this meeting, and it, like I said last time, the choice is not really a choice. You either accept his offer or you get branded as an enemy and you die. And so she kind of is forced to accept this deal. Exchange crews the stupid lady that hates Naomi, though, is gone. So one of the most prominent voices against Naomi on the crew, other than Marco himself, is not there anymore. So I think that'll further sway Philip towards Naomi's side. But Drummer's there, and she's like, I was a good friend, or you're like, good friend of Naomi on the Behemoth, where she saved the entire system. And he's like, excuse me, what? Like, he obviously he has not been told about this. Marco knows. Marco's like, obviously Marco knows about what went down on the Behemoth. You know, he's aware that Naomi is like this, probably like this cult figure of like hero of the galaxy, along with Holden and the rest of the Rossi. And he just, either Philip wasn't told or probably was like deliberately kept out of the loop about this. Any good news about his mom, he's not going to learn it because his dad's not going to tell him. And so he's like, yo, what? Like, my mom saved the entire system? Like, what are you talking about? And he gets to have a chat with her later on. You can clearly tell, like he's softening to her, and he's gonna turn to her side. Like, that is, especially, there's some things that happen that really like show him the lengths that she will go to do what is right. Like, she cares about him so much, and the lengths that she will go to get away from Marco specifically. Like, insane in the membrane. This was excellent. I you know, nothing massive happened in this episode, but it was just deep character development. Like, just moving it, like the plot moved along. It wasn't like huge events that shaped the plot. It was just like the plot continued based on everything that the world has built. Like, they didn't have to introduce some again, big event or anything like that to make it interesting. Like, the world that they have built and the characters that they have built, they just had to be like, all right, do your thing, interact, and it was perfect. I loved it. This show is fantastic. This is like Mass Effect, if Mass Effect was a show. The Shepard and the crew of frick, what is that? What's the ship called? Oh no. Oh frick, I forgot what Shepard's ship is called. It's not the N7. That's like the brand of armor or whatever they wear. N7 Day is the Mass Effect thing, November 7th. Frick, what is the ship called? I don't know. But Mass Effect is essentially like The Expanse. Except there's more aliens in Mass Effect. Dude, I love this show. I'm psyched for more. Let me know down below, what did you think of this episode? Are you what do you think will be like the straw that breaks the camel's back of Philip eventually just being like, nah, like, you're a psycho, I'm no longer on your team? Like what do you think is going to happen? How do you think that's going to go down? If it does at all. You know, what do you think Naomi will be willing to do to save herself or get away from this? I don't know, man. The Expanse is dope. More people should be watching it. If you're watching this, talk to your friends. Tell them to watch this show. It is fantastic. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Let me know, again, what you thought in the comments about any of it. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say. So if you liked what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more, especially of The Expanse. You know, more Expanse fans, more Screaming Firehawks are always welcome here. If you want to see the full-length reaction to this episode, or if you just want to support me in general, head down to my Patreon. It is linked in the description. But that's all I got. So I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.